Today's episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides, we'll talk about topics like paper straws and why they're worthless. We'll talk about an incident that happened in Hart Park, California, and a woman being arrested. We'll highlight the Super Bowl and UFC this weekend. We'll talk about a Department of Government Efficiency employee being fired and Trump support to bring him back. And then we'll show you a couple videos of some liberals and their delusion. All that and much more coming up on America Unfiltered with James Pascalides starting now.
The moment is here. This is our moment.
America, we are back, baby. Welcome to another episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides. This is episode 20. I already talked to you guys about what my topics are today. I'm going to go ahead and dive right on into them. I want to talk about our first topic today. It's something I'm very, very excited for, and I think it's something that the majority of Americans are excited for too, because why wouldn't you? So, the first thing we're going to talk about is Donald Trump signing an executive order today to scale back the Biden regime's, what they push forward with plastic straws and paper straws. So the Biden administration had said that plastic straws would be banned in the United States, and we were shifting towards paper straws. As most Americans know, paper straws suck. I'm going to show you guys why paper straws suck. I actually brought a visual. So this is a piece of paper. This is a glass of water. When you take the piece of paper, you fold it up here, you put it in the glass of water. Do you see what happens? It just gets soggy, flimsy. It just falls apart. So that's why paper straws suck. Because a beverage is a liquid. And paper, when you put it in a liquid, it tends to get soft and mushy and dissolve, while plastic does not. Plastic will stay the same shape in your drink, allowing you to drink it. The same way we have our entire lives. For them to switch it to paper straws is not only a huge government overreach, but it made no sense. They did it to save the turtles, but in reality, they weren't saving anything. Paper straws were even more harmful to the environment than plastic straws ever were, and that was proven. So I think the vast majority, just from a common sense standpoint of why put paper in liquid, I think the vast majority of Americans are happy to be over the woke BS and onto common sense, away from paper straws. I know in Florida we don't really deal with this too much. I can't remember the last time I had a paper straw in Florida because this is a very free and very good state. But I know a lot of times if I travel the country, if I'm visiting New York or something like that, a paper straw will ruin a drink and ruin it. It's just not fun. You go, you buy a soda, you buy a lemonade, a water, whatever it is. No one wants to use a paper straw. I mean, what, like, are we in the Stone Age? Do we not know how to, make a more durable straw? It's ridiculous. Plastic straws have always been the answer. They are the answer. I feel ridiculous even talking about this right now. The fact that I had to put a piece of paper in water to demonstrate why paper straws are dumb, I just feel like shows how stupid the entire thing is. So, again, very, very glad that Donald Trump did this. I think it was the right move. I don't think it was a big change in the sense of it's not going to change a lot in our government or anything, but in our daily lives, especially if you live in states where paper and plastic straws is a huge debate, this will improve your life a little bit, I hope. I know if the next time I'm visiting New York, this will improve my trip up there. I want to talk about our next topic today. I want to talk about an incident that happened in Hart Park, California. So I'm going to play this video for you guys. It's a pretty terrible video, but we're going to talk about it after.
You're not gonna tell me what to do. This is Mexican land.
Oh, okay.
Look at that flag, because that flag isn't on the floor, is it?
Hey.
Is it?
Hey.
You can't say I'm disrespecting. No, esta es mi tierra. Esta es mi tierra. Esta es mi tierra.
Come here.
Okay, my people kill you.
Turn around.
I'm going in peace and you're hurting me and you're gonna regret it when you... Okay.
Hey.
Touch me, my... when your kids die. When your kids die. You're squishing my hand and they already know. You don't need to take me.
Stop her.
Take me. Take me. Take me.
Take her down.
Take me,
She's on the ground. She's all right.
We'll get her.
We'll get her.
Stick my And they're gonna pay.
All this happening this morning around 9:30. The Kern County Sheriff's Office says 24-year-old Crystal Aguilar cut the chain securing the flagpole at the entrance to the park, removed the American flag, threw it into the mud, and replaced it with the flag of Mexico. When park rangers attempted to detain Aguilar, she responded with a slew of threats. She was taken into custody and booked into jail on several charges, including threatening a peace officer, vandalism, and resisting arrest.
Well, doesn't Krista Aguilar seem like a real peach? She seems like a terrible, terrible person. Not only that, but one, you were in the wrong when you took the American flag off American property, put the Mexican flag up. If it's your own personal property, hang whatever flag you want up. But when it's a public park, you have zero right to take the American flag down, put the Mexican flag up, and claim you're in Mexican territory. No, you're just delusional. Second thing, to threaten the cop's family because he's rightfully arresting you, you are a disgusting person. You not only should be in jail, but I mean, like, considering the things you say, like, throw away the key. If I want them to find as much dirt on this person as they possibly can. Someone who's threatening the cops' lives, saying my people will kill you, saying when your children die. Are you serious? When your children die is one of the most disgusting, despicable statements I have ever heard. That woman, for that statement alone, they should do whatever they can to find any charges they can bring against this woman. Find anything she has done wrong. Find anything this woman has done illegal. That is a disgusting way to talk to people, specifically a law enforcement officer who puts their lives at risk day in and day out for their family. And for you to threaten them and threaten their family just goes to show how low of a person you are. It honestly, it's rude to people to call her a person. She is a disgusting animal for the way she talks. It is despicable. It's un-American. It's terrible. I obviously in no way support anything she said or did, but I completely think that just the idea of what she did in the first place is so wrong as well. The idea of talking to someone like that when you're in the wrong, thinking it's just a sense of entitlement that's wrong with the world today. Everyone has this sense of entitlement of I either want it now or it's mine. And her thinking that the park is hers to take a flag down and put a new one up and claim it's Mexican territory is either A, crazy, B, delusion, or C, just stupid. And I'm going to pick all three. I think she's delusional and stupid, and she's just a little crazy. I don't understand how people act like this. Most of the time in my heads, I chalk it up to bad parenting. I think if you're acting like this as an adult, your parents failed you as a child. Obviously, that's not always the case. I don't want to directly put this on this person's parents. But like I said, I think if you can address problems with your child in the home growing up, the chances of your child growing up to be a complete waste like that is slim and none, or at least a lot less than it would be if you just allow your child to act like that. That is acting like a bratty child, but not even like a bratty child, because a bratty child is not going to threaten to murder your children. Threatening to murder children is the most disgusting thing someone could do. And again, the reason I say it's not even a person, that's an animal. Someone who would threaten children, innocent children who have nothing to do with that. Just a disgusting, terrible, terrible person. It makes me sad to watch something like that. My heart and my prayers go out to the law enforcement officers who had to deal with that and their families. I really think it's terrible. I do want to shift over on to our next topic. I want to talk about something. This is something I'm a little more excited about. So over the last couple days, there's been a little bit of controversy with the Department of Government Efficiency. One of their employees, a 25-year-old, he goes by the name Big Balls online. He got fired because of some social media posts he put up about 8 years ago or so. I'm going to put up this clip for you guys, a news clip, and then we'll pick it apart.
Yes, so this is a 19-year-old high school graduate who has used the unfortunate nickname Big Balls online. So that would be one way that we could refer to him. He is now working at Musk's behest inside DOGE. And we looked into his background. And so we found several notable things, Aaron, one of which is that this individual has founded multiple companies, including one with another unfortunate name, Tesla.sexy LLC, which he established in 2021. He would have been around 16 years old. Now, this LLC controls dozens of web domains.
Yeah, God forbid we have a genius who is also an entrepreneur and a extremely working hard individual in the Department of Government Efficiency. Not only are these two women on this clip just very delusional about their talking points, have no clue what they're talking about in the sense of why this person was fired. This person was fired for tweets that were deemed offensive. Tweets that are deemed offensive, in my opinion, are not a fireable offense unless you're directly using racial slurs pointed at somebody or you're intentionally trying to harm people. But I think tweets that some people may find offensive that others genuinely don't, I don't think are a fireable offense. I'm going to also pop up this for you guys. This is a tweet by Elon Musk responding to JD Vance. So JD Vance said that he wants to bring back this employee. Donald Trump agrees. I'll play that video for you guys too of them talking about it, but I'm going to pop up this tweet and then I'll play the video for you guys and then we'll talk about it all.
One of the DOGE engineers was fired for some inappropriate posts. The vice president says, bring him back. What do you say?
Well, I don't know about the particular thing, but if the vice president said that, did you say that? I'm with the vice president. Thank you, Peter.
The first thing I notice about this clip is I love that the president and vice president so easily get on the same page. How Donald Trump says to the media, to Peter Doocy, he says, what did the vice president say? And then he looks up at JD Vance. He asked JD Vance himself, and then he immediately says, yep, I agree with JD Vance. Because one, he knows JD Vance is an extremely smart person. That's why he picked him for the vice president role. He trusts him as well. But when did we ever see Kamala and Joe Biden doing that? When did you don't see presidents and vice presidents act like that recently. And it makes me really happy to see that we have a united front from the president and vice president. I think that's something that should just be a thing. It should just happen. But the fact that it's something that I'm even happy over that it is happening just goes to show how lost we really got. Beyond that, like I said, I love that they are bringing this person back. As you saw in the tweet, Elon Musk said they are going to hire him back. I don't think people should be fired for offensive tweets that aren't directed immediately at a person or at a group, giving slurs or anything like that. I really think that just offensive tweets and things like that are, especially when he was a child when he said these things. I think when he posted these things, he was 14, 15 years old. If none of us can grow up from the things we said when we were 14 or 15 years old, then lock us all up. Because there's not a single American in this world who, in their teens, with their developing minds and puberty and different things going on in your early teens, didn't say or do something stupid, whether you were fortunate or unfortunate enough to tweet it out, or whether, social media even existed at that point for you, or whatever it was. But we all did very dumb things when we were kids. We all said very dumb things when we were kids. And to continuously try and punish somebody for something they said when they're a child is basically saying, you will never grow past that. That's all who you will ever be, and we will never let you live past that, and we'll never let you grow more. So I love that Elon Musk, the Department of Government Efficiency, Donald Trump, JD Vance are all standing toe-to-toe on this one. They are shoulder-to-shoulder on this one, and they're just a united front in showing that we're not gonna allow liberals to continue to try and mess with Donald Trump's government, his picks, and what his government is trying to do. They're also just not going to judge a kid for what he said when he was 13, 14, whatever it was. So I really love this. I'm very glad that that's the stance that they're taking. I didn't expect anything different from them. And if there's any more information on that as it comes up, I'll definitely try and keep you guys updated. I don't know if there will be, but as he gets rehired, I'll try and report on that for you guys. I want to talk about just our last couple things today. So I want to highlight that it is Super Bowl weekend. Today is Friday. We're going into the weekend. We do have a huge weekend for sports. Super Bowl Sunday is a big one. The Chiefs versus my Philadelphia Eagles. I am very, very excited. I am predicting a score of 31-27, Philadelphia being Super Bowl champions. I don't think there will be a three-peat for Kansas City. I hope there is not. I really am nervous going into this one because it's the Eagles playing the refs, not the Eagles playing the Chiefs, but we'll see how this goes exactly. To talk about other sports we have going on, I actually want to play this clip for you guys first because we're going to talk about UFC a little bit and what's going on there, but I want to talk about the just biggest difference between when when Kamala Harris and when Donald Trump walk into a sports arena in the United States. So before we talk about UFC, I'm going to play this clip for you guys. I'm going to play a clip of Donald Trump walking into a UFC event, and then right next to it, you'll see Kamala Harris walking into the Lakers game yesterday. You guys could see the big difference in the two there, and then we'll talk a little bit about what we got going on this weekend.
The sound in this room is so loud in here. It is so loud. It's always loud when he comes here, but now that he's won, now that he's the president again, oh my God.
The crowd goes silent. Like, are you kidding me? You watch the way Donald Trump walks into a UFC event and it roars and erupts in just a sheer volume of people screaming on the top of their lungs, cheering and chanting, MAGA, Trump, everything. And then you watch Kamala walk into the Lakers game and just nothing. This is a huge difference to show you just the vast popularity of the two candidates we had and why Donald Trump won a little bit. This is not a irregular thing too. Donald Trump goes to UFC events consistently, and every single time he's greeted with that same exact welcome. Him and Dana White love to walk out together. They're very good friends. Dana White consistently talks about how him and Trump have been friends before Dana was successful at all, and how he is one of the closest friends to him and has offered to help him and has always been by his side through thick and thin no matter what. And he has been a huge test of Trump's character, talking about just how great of a person and friend he really is. I really love the UFC. That's a little bit why I want to highlight it today. And there was some controversy in the UFC this week that has a slight political landscape too, so I feel like it makes sense to talk about here. But there's a fighter, Bryce Mitchell, out of West Virginia. He is a younger fighter. He said some controversial statements in the first episode of his podcast. So Bryce Mitchell has been known to make either less smart or not well thought out statements consistently. So one of the problems with fighting, with contact sports, is head trauma, CTE. Bryce Mitchell was known to have been knocked out very, very brutally about last year, almost 9 months to 12 months ago. And it was a very, very bad knockout where he was unconscious for over a minute. And that happened in his UFC fight as well. So in his podcast, he talks about how he thinks he would be friends with Hitler and how he didn't think Hitler was a bad person, and he just pretty much went on to say how the media has corrupted lies about Hitler. And this is obviously a very terrible statement, very hurtful to a lot of people as well. I want to basically say, I think it's an obvious statement that obviously everything Hitler did was terrible. I don't think Bryce Mitchell was right to say any of these things. And Dana White, in a press interview, was asked, "Are you going to punish him?" And he said, "I hate every word he said. I think he's the stupidest man on the planet now that he said things like that. But no, I'm not going to punish a grown man for his thoughts and words because this is America and free speech exists. What you can look forward to, though, is this is the fight industry. And if you don't like the things he said or the things he talks about, he will get knocked out again. And you can cheer for that as much as you want." So I love Dana White's take on this. I don't think you have to agree with everything everyone says, even as grotesque and terrible as things as Bryce Mitchell has said. Bryce Mitchell has even said things like people shouldn't wear seatbelts in case they have to just jump and roll out of the car faster. The guy's not the most IQ individual. He's not extremely smart. Like I said, he is somebody who probably suffers pretty terrible CTE from some of these more brutal knockouts he's received in his UFC career. I don't think he fully even really means or understands the statements he's saying. I'm not going to fully speak on that on his behalf. I don't know him. But just from my outside perspective of seeing videos and clips of him before a few of his times he got knocked out, and then more recently after there's been more head trauma and things like that. So I do think that maybe he doesn't even fully realize or understand what he's saying, or maybe he doesn't even agree with them and he's saying them for attention. But nonetheless, all terrible things to say, things that no person who has a public platform, in my opinion, should be saying. They're opinions that are pretty small-minded, that Hitler was a good person or Hitler would have been a good person, whatever, however he wanted to phrase it. I think he phrased it in a way of saying Hitler would have been a guy to get a beer with. But either way, terrible, terrible statement. Bryce Mitchell should... I cannot wait to see him get knocked out in the UFC next. I really think that, like I said, free speech is important. And what makes the fight industry great, like Dana White said, is just you get to see these guys get knocked out when they do something terrible like this. They do get some payback. So I think that is something to look forward to in the future. And one of our last things, I want to pop this clip up for you guys. This is a clip on TikTok of a liberal talking about casting a spell to keep ICE away. I'm going to let you guys pick this video apart a little bit, and then I'll join you guys after.
You will not be deported. You will not be deported. These are not the migrants you're looking for. These are not the migrants you're looking for. ICE agents explode. ICE agents explode.
Delusional. You have no idea what you're talking about. You literally sound so stupid. Do you see how dumb you sound when you make a video like that? I mean, like, I can't tell if this person's making this as a joke or if they genuinely made this and thought like, oh, I did something here. But this is a video that's going around TikTok right now, and I just want to continue to show liberals' delusion throughout this show. As much as whenever I see clips of things like this, I'm always going to show you guys, because seeing something like this just shows me exactly why Donald Trump won, because of the just lack of common sense, lack of just brain power in this country. I don't know, to make a video like that, something's got to be wrong with you. I don't see the benefit to making a video like that unless maybe you're like monetizing it and getting paid for it. But other than that, it's like, even if you're getting paid, why are you making a weird video? Just make a normal, I don't know, like, what is that? You're casting a spell on ICE to keep them away? Like, oh, it's really going to work. Delusional. I just don't get, I don't get liberals a lot. I don't get a lot of the dumb things. Some of them do, like this. But what are you going to do? This is America. It's what makes this land so great. You don't have to agree with everybody. You could just report on it and do things like this. I'm going to sign off today. Happy Friday. Happy Super Bowl weekend. I'll see you guys Monday, hopefully, as Eagles be Super Bowl champions. Knock on wood. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. This has been episode 20 of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides. I hope you have a blessed day. I'm signing off.